So it's my time. This is fun.
Please, yes, reach out to me. I have,
Here we go.
Awareness in our day-to-day business and life. Mr. Larry Lauder, please come to the stage.
Well, hello. This is my third time having a microphone in my hand here. And they say just take a second, look over the crowd and pretend that they're all naked. And I've yet to go to any event where that has happened. So I don't think it's going to happen today. But so I came prepared. I didn't see a single one of you guys up here with cue cards or with 3x5 index cards. Yesterday I was like, I can't do this off of memory. I just can't do it off of memory. So we're gonna go this way, primarily because I need the clicker. Where did it go? It's over here, right? Yes. How about would you be my clicker guy? I'll tell you exactly when to go.
Sure.
You did great. You'll do great.
Just hit the arrow, I guess.
Yeah, just hit the area. So real quick, let's pause real quick and thank everybody who had anything to do with this event. I know for certain, absolutely great job, guys. I know for certain after doing so many events here in Charlotte, you lose sleep, you worry when the next person is going to sign up. You just don't know what these things are going to turn out to be like. So take the stress off. Now you can relax, Mario. It's definitely not a hard thing. So I grew up in church, and there were some times that I was in church and I caught that side eye from my mom or my dad because I wasn't really paying attention. And I don't know, who's caught that side eye that could have almost been a butt whoop? I'm not saying it's me that has had that happen, but I can't not let some of the way that I was raised come into play into my life, right? We'll get a little bit deeper into why Next Agent Up has started. And really, I have to tell a story here, and I'm going to try my best not to be emotional on it, because we're going to have to talk about some things that's near and dear to my heart, and that being mental health. And unfortunately, I have lost people to mental health. But let me just kind of get you into why I think that I am here right now. Let's click the first slide, right? So for 13 years, that's not it. For 13 years, I didn't know these people right here. While he finds it, is a picture of the Lowe's that I worked in. I worked in Lowe's for 13 years. Out of the 13 years I was there, 8 of the 13 years I was doing in-home sales. And I thought, okay, this is a great career to be in. But the pressure began to build more and more and more and more, to the point where, let me know if this happened to you, you've had a panic attack. I remember having my first panic attack. Go ahead, let me see it. I want to really feel this out. Panic attack. If you've never had one, they come up out of nowhere. I mean, literally out of nowhere. I'm sitting in my living room, I don't know, probably 10 o'clock at night and watching football. And the next thing I know, I'm grabbing my chest like I'm having a heart attack. I'm too young. I'm 41 years old at this point. That's interesting. The devil's a liar. Okay, we'll get that fixed. For y'all that don't know, that's a microphone that attached to another microphone. I would have never thought that was going to happen. Anyway, I'm standing there, and at the moment, I have no idea what's going on. Like, what is a panic attack? So I had some friends that came and scooped me up, but we still don't have the slides, do we?
You want?
Oh, yeah, we should be past, not that. I know that's what y'all waiting for. But, hey, listen, I'm going to treat this just like Kim Kardashian and just like she will not keep her husband long. So just bear with me here, okay?
It's not going anywhere else.
We can't go back? I didn't need these after all. This is why I have this, is so I can stay on point with the slides here. All right, so I was having panic attacks, right?
So you don't have me behind you?
Whatever, it's all good. We'll figure it out. I'm having panic attacks, and at some point you start to take inventory of your own mental health, whether or not you want to. You got to figure out, why is this happening? Months go by, it happens again. This time, let me back up because I had a funny thing in there that we missed. I got scooped up to go to the hospital. Well, on the way to the hospital, this is a life hack for you. I found a fire department. And we drove right into the fire department. They checked me out. There was no ambulance fees. There was no fees at all. So much better than going to the emergency room on that, right? So find a fire department. Good to know, right? I know health insurance is expensive enough as it is. But it happened again. And I'm just like, I can't keep going this route with panic attacks. Now, don't get me wrong. Once you've had them, you start to kind of learn how to regulate a little bit, right? But at the time, all I wanted was out. I felt like my job that I had with Lowe's was my problem. Maybe it was, maybe it wasn't. So I found myself at a different phase of life. And I started praying, like, God, get me out of Lowe's. If this is my problem, get me out of the Lowe's. So he did. Oddly enough, one of the vendors that I worked with asked me if I wanted to come work at this building supply company in Salisbury. And I went there. I didn't do a lot of research before I went there. I didn't like it there at all. They wanted me to do the same thing I was doing at Lowe's. I never, ever, ever felt comfortable being there. But this is so much a blessing to my life, because that uncomfortable phase that I was in was literally a setup for what comes next. And I'm sure there's some newbies in here. Did we have the new agents in here? Is there still some? I'm sure you're at a phase right now where you're not knowing exactly what's coming next, right? And it's uncomfortable. And I remember being in that phase, and I didn't know how I was going to get out. I was working with like 7 people that I frankly didn't like, didn't want to be around them, couldn't stand them. And then I took my parents on a cruise. Man, I wish we had these pictures right now, because this is great. I took my mom and my dad on a cruise, my wife on a cruise. And man, it was something that I always wanted to do. I sold a house, I was not in real estate at the time, but I sold a house in Charlotte. We used some of that money just to spoil my parents. We go on a cruise. This was June 2019. I come back after having the best time ever. I was just so happy that my parents had never been on a cruise. They loved every second of it. I was so happy that that was what was taking place, but I knew when I come back to work, I was going right back into the same situation. Get back to work Monday. Silence. Nobody talks to Larry. I'm like, okay, this is odd. You guys really didn't talk to me in the first place, but this is cool. Come back Tuesday, go to lunch. After lunch, they called me into the office. They're like, hey, Larry, we're going to get rid of your position. We don't think we want to go with this installation program any longer. I'm like, okay, so there is my fork in the road moment. And honestly, at that time, it was kind of devastating. I was making pretty decent money, didn't know what to do, had to wait for my wife to come home from work to break the news to her. And yeah, so at that time, I was like, what am I going to do? Do I go back to the familiar waters of Lowe's, or do I just test my luck and see if I can do something that I've never done before, and that's not work a W-2 job? No shade on the W-2 people, man, because it's a good thing, but also real estate is better, if you ask me. So I go to Superior School at that point, right? Superior School, all of us, for the most part, Superior. Bill Gallagher's not here. Cheers to Bill, right? A little sip of something. And as I walk in on day 1, and maybe it was day 2, I could have these days backwards, this tall young man come walking in. And he was wearing a 3-piece suit. He was 19 years old at the time. And his mom was with him. She was a productivity coach for Keller Williams in Mooresville. And he just started conversations with everybody in the room. You know, they were passing out the Jesus chicken with the Chick-fil-A before we got started. And we just all hit it off. We all fell in love with Devin. And Devin had a way about talking to people. 19 years old, was already in real estate, already successful, multi-million-dollar listings that he was already selling. I mean, it was pretty inspiring to go through all that. So he would help us set up study classes, and we, 5, 6 7 of us would get together, go study. And I got to take my class, and I have the same license that you guys have, but it passed by 1 point. So happy to know that my first attempt at the real estate exam was at 1 point. Now, the real estate superior exam, I don't know what I made on the state and national, right? Neither do you. So we're all equal on that level. But I started doing some open houses with Devin, going to open houses and, seeing him around the way. And this was September 2019. Got to know him from September all the way to December. of 2019, and I saw Devin as I was in the office doing some headshots, and he seemed a little off. This would have been a Wednesday. He seemed a little bit off. And I didn't know, like, is he a young kid? Has he got, some girl issues going on, something like that? And then the following Saturday, he's dead. How does a 20-year-old kid take his life? What kind of pressure? Was it real estate? Was it a medication? What was it? It's not supposed to happen, not at 20 years old. You don't die at 20, And looking at even some of the statistics, like that's one of the biggest causes of young death, right? It's suicide. And to do it in his own house with his parents, that went out to dinner, and he comes home, they come home and the kid's gone. Needless to say, staying at Keller Williams, I didn't want to stay there. It just felt weird. The grief in the office was thick. It didn't feel right. At that time, I'd only lost one other person to suicide, and that person happened to be the pastor that baptized me. Right? That's not supposed to happen either, at all. That's when I transitioned into marketing. I kind of, just like any other real estate agent that doesn't know what the heck is going on, how to get leads, how to get on. I couldn't even get on a team, for crying out loud. Like, if y'all know me, hopefully you think I'd have enough skills to be on your team, but I couldn't even get on a team at that point. And I just decided I wanted to go ahead and work for a marketing company. And that was another great setup, crossroads moment for me. Like, it wasn't that I was leaving real estate behind. It just meant that, it was going to look a little bit different. So once I started working for this real estate company, this would have been 2020. What the heck happened in 2020 that really kind of screwed everything up? Seemingly screwed everything up. But can I tell you, for me, it was an absolute blessing that COVID happened. I didn't lose anybody to it. I hope you didn't either. But for me, that made me look at something completely different. I didn't know real estate agents. The only thing I knew was a camera that was in my hand. And I knew that if I could get in front of people, I would start making connections. So that's what we did. We started putting together real estate events for photography. And once that started happening, once everybody got past the scaredness of being around it, people started coming out, and we started making a little bit of motion. And I was supposed to have a photography event that would have been, I don't even remember what month it was, but I was working with a builder in this location, and we were supposed to have a photo shoot at this house. 2 days before it happened, was supposed to happen, I get a phone call that, hey, we can't have you here for this photo event. And so, don't you know, I got to back up, guys. I got to back up just a little bit. When I was at the building supply company, I told y'all that was listening to dinner last night. Don't let me forget this part. And y'all over there drinking or something, right? Yeah. So as I'm in this building supply company, amongst my not like of people, I started praying a prayer. I want influence. I don't know why. It just was. I was just thinking, I can't work with 7 people my whole life. This is not how it's meant to happen. Let's go right back to where we're talking about. Coming back to, let's just say 2021, because I don't have my slides to go with up here. The shoot was canceled, and then years prior, I met a man by the name of Rich Moyer, that he wanted to be on The Bachelor, and so he needed some video content for The Bachelor, and well, guess what? Guess who owns this building that we're in right now? Rich and I played softball together. I took his videos for The Bachelor. I'll let you know he didn't make it. He's still a great guy. But I called Rich up, and I'm like, Rich, I need something real quick, man. If I can use your place to do some photography. So we did. We were upstairs. Preston, were you here for that, dude? Yeah? We were upstairs, I had my DJ down here, and I'm working primarily up in this location. Music's blasting. I can't really do too much at this time other than stand up at the top and say, next realtor up. And so after I got to thinking about that, I was like, next realtor up, that just kind of rings a little bit. And that's when it kind of clicked on me that maybe I should start my own business helping real estate agents out with their marketing. Now, at this time, I was still working for a marketing company. Also, I had to change the word realtor because of that stupid little C inside of the circle, right? Found that out. But that's really when Next Agent Up was born, and all along the way, man, somebody's going to have fun cleaning these up. And they're everywhere. Somewhere along the way, after started doing enough events, Devin started coming back to mind that the real estate industry hustles. It's a hustle culture. And how much do you stop just for a minute to take inventory of where you are? I'm not saying this is what happened to Devin. I'm not saying this is what happens to a lot of the people that I know. But if there's one thing I know about a 1099, not having a W-2, you got to do it pretty much all yourself, unless you're like my man from Texas that has figured out how to scale, right? So that's where my passion began to come into play. We started doing charity events. Once again, I had some really great photos I was going to show y'all, and y'all have to look at me. So, but you know, when we're talking about the influence, 2 years ago, we were right back in the same building, having a mental health Vegas Nights event. And some of you guys were here. I still remember your faces, and it was a beautiful, fun night. We raised about $15,000. We actually had one of my friend's daughter who attempted to take her life actually spoke to everybody. So it was a very inspiring night. We just had such a great time trying to make a difference in this space. And that was 2023, and I hate to say it, but it didn't stop. Last year, I asked a friend of mine, who some of you guys may know is Mike Corbett, if he would speak at my black tie event that we had. And he politely declined, let's call it this time of year last year. And he politely declined. It didn't seem like him, out of nature. And 3 weeks later, he took his life. I have another beautiful friend that has a 3-year-old and a 5-year-old. She's a very successful real estate agent. Everybody here probably knows her. And last year, right about this time, he says he's going to go play golf. He goes out to his car and he takes his life. And these are young families, beautiful people. And, you know, I used to think that possibly these 4 people were selfish. Anybody that takes their life, maybe they're selfish. But I can't say that. How can fathers with kids just end it? You know, how can somebody just give up altogether? So, last year, Apple came out with a great VR goggle, right? Has anybody tried it on? You've been to the store? By the way, there is nothing better on YouTube than watching people put on these VR headsets and run full speed into the television. That makes me so happy, and it shouldn't, but I love it. I was watching some up there earlier just to think about it. It's fun. I was going to show y'all that too, but there again. But you know that the fascinating thing about this headset is you can put it on and you can be in another world. You can tell you want to be on the moon. You can do whatever. You can watch television over here, read your emails over here, whatever you want that world to be. But here's what happens. That headset starts getting very heavy. That virtual fake world starts getting extremely heavy on your head. It's not comfortable any longer, right? And how many of you could think that is kind of like what our mental health is like? there's a lot of things that we see that we shouldn't see. We shouldn't have seen this poor young girl get murdered, or Charlie. And at what point do we log off, right? So 3 points. I should have said it just like a preacher's kid, because that's what I am. Three points in a poem and we're out of here, right? Who said amen? Log off, man. So if I can give you 3 things I think will help, they're definitely not the end-all be-all for mental health. But log off. Take an hour off. Take an hour for yourself. Just for yourself. Go lock yourself in a room. Go get a massage. Turn your phone off. Man, I don't have kids, but some of you might. You can't get that time back, right? Take a bubble bath. Go to Bed Bath & Beyond and get the balm and drop it in there. I think they have them. I don't know. But log off. You know, what do they say when you're on an airplane? That you cannot put that mask on somebody else before you put it on yourself, right? We can't help people if we're also hurting in the same vein, right? Log off for just a minute. Here's a fun one for you. We talked a lot about social media today. Social media is great. It's the new digital door knocking, right? I guess it's not so new. When did it all happen? 2005? Is that when social media started becoming a thing? How about doing this? I find when I get a little down in the dumps, the best thing for me to do is literally to just go do something for somebody else. But go do something for somebody else and don't put it on social media. It's for you. At that point, 100% for you. We don't have the right to publicize giving a homeless bag to a homeless person. We don't. And I'm sure I've probably been guilty of it at some point. Like a lot of us look at this industry as an opportunity to get the next lead. Don't do it that way. I promise you, when your headspace is in a better place, that stuff is not necessary. It's just not. Buy a coffee for somebody in line at Starbucks behind you. You know it's going to be $40, but just do it anyway, right? $45. And you won't even get the points for it, I don't think. Probably most important, find a friend. Find somebody that you can talk to. Where's he at? Texas? Is he still outside? He said that maybe the spouse is not the right person, right? His words, not mine. But maybe in this situation, sometimes the spouse is not the right person to talk to necessarily. You know, for me, my guy's up here. But there needs to be some safety nets around what we do. And those are 3 things, guys. That doesn't mean that that's everything. You know, our mental health is part of our lives that we can't divorce ourselves from. And we also can't divorce ourselves from the fact that we have a Creator that loves all of us. And suicide does not have to be the way out. You can really just give it to God.